More of these Sports Talk. We back. We're gonna talk a little bit draft and combine coming up real soon. And ain't did a Lions video in a minute. Let's talk about the cornerback position and should they take one in the first round and what should they do with the open starting second position opposite of Darius Slay at the cornerback position. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. I appreciate everybody checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. And pretty much it's all contingent on how they evaluate the cornerbacks at hand. Todd McShay got the Lions, I believe, taking Greedy Williams out of LSU. LSU is like DBU, period. Them and Ohio State produced the best defensive backs. Now you got to evaluate Greedy Williams, which I ain't really been evaluating anybody yet. Been busy with Pistons, but now the combine will come out. Start doing some studying, break down a little bit of film, and I'll start eventually down the line the draft spotlights. But right now it's just gonna be free agent spotlights coming up. But if you can evaluate Greedy Williams and say, okay, we want to play primarily man, or we might want to play primarily zone, or whatever defense they want to play, and they can evaluate and say, okay, Greedy Williams can come in next year. He's head and shoulders, knees and toes above Nevin Lawson. He gonna start, then we got to put him in consideration to be drafted with the 8th pick. Now, if it's thoughts that he may not come in and be an instant impact starter at the cornerback position, then come on, we don't have time to develop a cornerback. At least they don't have time. They looked at to be on the hot seat. Okay, they don't need somebody to come in and do the tease Tabor, and no, they can't afford that luxury at the number 8 pick. They need somebody that can come in, make an impact, and start from day one. Now, will Greedy Williams be more of in the Marshawn Lattimore situation where he came in when New Orleans was like an all-pro, Pro Bowl cornerback? If Greedy Williams is that, then you go ahead and take him and say, okay, I live with that. If he going to come in here, be an instant starter, and he can do what we need him to do, okay, we instantly upgrade one of our biggest weaknesses in the defense, and that's the second, corner spot opposite of Darius Slay. We upgraded that now, okay? Now, but let's say what could be their other options. I'm going to look at 3 tiers of the options. We looked at the draft. I'm just saying Greedy Williams right now. I understand it's a Georgia Bulldog who good too, and a few other DBs out there. But in the free agency, it's really not that much. You got like Callahan from the Bears, but the top cornerback in free agency right now, let somebody get released, which can't happen, is Ronald Darby. He coming off an ACL injury though. So, you can get him for cheap and you can let him heal up. But then again, if you get Ronald Darby, you still going to need to draft a cornerback and get another cornerback pretty high. Okay. Because, you probably thinking on a whole year recovery for him. And that's like, he got injured like in the middle of last season with the Eagles. So really you looking at him to come back, not even full form until at least the playoffs or the following season. So you basically just signing him up right now, just okay, as a red shirt year for the most part. So pretty much that's the best cornerback available. I don't think that's what we want to do. Okay. He a good talent. He only 25 years old, very young, but do you really want to red shirt him a year and use him next year with your cap money? If the deal is that, if the deal is that sweet, then yeah, if it worked financially, but you're not dropping money bags on him, the red shirt 1 year, so pretty much right now, the cornerback, position is real, superficial right now for the Lions, so it ain't too good. But hey, you talking about trading? Jalen Ramsey is available. Okay. I don't know exactly what they want from Jalen Ramsey, but if I had to, I would throw a second and a third in there for Jalen Ramsey. They can get that out of me. They get a second this year and I'll give them a third next year, or, the second this year and the second next year for Jalen Ramsey. I mean, he pretty young and, we got the finances to re-up with him. And that's what I would do. If I didn't think Greedy Williams would come in and make an impact, and I would go ahead and move for Jalen Ramsey before anybody else did. I would be talking as soon as I could to the New Year League start with the Jacksonville Jaguars about getting him, putting him with Darius Slay. You ain't got to worry about shit else for a while. You got your nickelback position you got to worry about. Lawson, Agnew, and if you want to draft another cornerback somewhere in the draft, well, you can't do that and develop a nickel defensive back. But I'm banking on Jamal Agnew is going to get better than what he was last year. Okay. So then if you go ahead and you sold Jalen Ramsey in a trade, or you can go get Xavier Howard from the Dolphins, or you can get a Patrick Peterson, which I like to go younger, either Howard or Jalen Ramsey. Who else knows who would be available? Then, pretty much that opens me up to, I got 2 starting safeties, okay? Possibly if we feel that Tracy Walker's starting, we know Quadre Diggs is nice, then, our secondary should be sold up this year, from the outside looking in, barring no injuries. So then, pretty much you got to look at other places. Where's your major weakness at is pass rush. That's your first major weakness, and you need somebody electric off the edge. Somebody that can generate speed to power and got explosiveness off the edge. You need depth behind the defensive tackle position. You need a middle linebacker that got some size on them. And I think all those things can happen. The defense, could be something we can hang our hat on like it was a few years ago, and it was like one of the top defenses in the league with Ndamukong Suh and them here. But like I said before, the cornerback position is tricky. You know what I'm saying? Especially when in the draft, because that takes a while for some cornerbacks to develop. That was a blip with Marshawn Lattimore, his rookie season he had with he's from Ohio State, but he had with New Orleans. Usually rookie cornerbacks don't come in and make huge impacts like that at all. He had a hell of a year with New Orleans. Now, Marcus Peters had a hell of an impact with Kansas City his first year, but pretty much after that, he pretty much fell off, But when you're evaluating cornerbacks, especially in the draft, you got to know what you're getting. With Darius Slay, when he got here, he was a man corner. He came from JUCO, went to Mississippi State. He was a man corner. He was a corner that went out there and manned up. But the Lions play zone, so they drafted a man corner to come in and start instantly, or eventually start and play zone. He was getting cooked because he didn't know how to play zone. They ain't play a bunch of zone at Mississippi State. So when you drafted Greedy Williams, you got to make sure he fits your scheme. Now, if y'all play a 50-50 mixture of zone and man, or combo, zone and man, whatever you ask him to do, you got to know, can he play zone and can he play man? Because taking, a dude that high up with the number 8 pick, he got to come in and start and be effective. And if he come in and start and be effective, and he could be a Pro Bowler or be a better starter than what we got. It ain't no rotational. It ain't close. It ain't Nevin Lawson beating this dude out. Then you pick him. You pick him. At this point, it really ain't about need when you this high. It's about drafting the best talent available. When you get to take a need, then it's a problem. Now, if you evaluate a player and they both grade out the same, and you need a safety more than you need a running back, then okay, you're gonna value the safety. You're gonna take the safety. But if a player is clearly graded above a guy, and you got a spot that you can use him, you got to take him. It's not about positional needs in the draft. It's about taking the best talent available or the highest graded guy on your board. And if you got to draw, then you talking about the tiebreaker is need or it's other things, it's other factors. But for them to reach for a cornerback this year in the 8th spot, and if Greedy Williams, if he ain't ready to step in and play, and Nevin Lawson is still somehow going to be resurrected from the bench to come in and play, hell no. If you're not 100% sure, whatever cornerback you pick at the 8th spot, if that's what they want to do, if they not 100% sure that he going to come in, dominate, and play right now, then no. It's no. You can go for the sure thing. Now, I have to evaluate Greedy Williams to know that. So I can't really say what they should do, but one thing I know I can say, if the price ain't right on Ronald Darby, it's no way, no how. Remember, some players going to get cut. You're going to see cornerbacks get cut. You're going to see the free agent pool thicken at some point. So, it's slim pickings, to find a starter for the Lions. But, hey, they got options out there, okay? They got a good draft position, Also, you can find good cornerbacks in the middle of the draft or, a second, third round. You can find, tradable dudes that could be tradable like Patrick Peterson, Jalen Ramsey. God knows who else out there that could be tradable, that could be cap casualties, that could get cut. So, it ain't the worst situation, but I think the Lions really need to act fast because they lack a lot of depth at the cornerback position. Really, you got Darius Slay and nobody else. Then you're looking at Mike Ford as your next best cornerback to start on the outside, and pretty much nothing outside of him. But, let me know what y'all think, what they should do at the cornerback position. I'm going to double up with another Lions video, Motor City Sports Talk. It's your boy, CJ Goodfellow. Don't forget, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can reach out to the email as well. All that information is in the description. And if you got a question, business inquiry, sponsorship, or you just want to chop it up, hit me up on all social media sites. In addition to that, you want to make a donation to the channel, that link's always there. You can do me one better, just continue to share